If I had known these 8 things when I started my photography business, my business would have gotten to be a successful 6-figure business far more quickly than it did. Whether you are just thinking about starting a photography business or whether you've been in business for a while, I think you're going to get some benefit from all 8 of these tips. Sometimes it's just good to know. Other times it's a great reminder. Without a lot of pomp and circumstance, let's jump right in. The first thing is you don't have to do everything to run a successful photography business, but the product that you are creating does need to be viable in your market. Let me break that down a little. When I first started, I was noticing in all of the social media groups that people were doing weddings, people were doing seniors, people were doing newborns, people were doing headshots, and on and on and on and on. So I thought, okay, if that's what everybody's doing, that's what I have to do to succeed. I have to be this jack of all trades to draw in the widest net of clients to my business. That's not actually the case. Where I actually started having success is when I decided to niche down, when I decided professional headshots are going to be my jam. I'm going to be the best headshot photographer in my market. So with that, I really focused in on actually being the best headshot photographer. My social media messaging got very clear. My website branding got very clear. When I was talking to people, I was able to go, I am a headshot photographer. People knew what they were getting. If you follow my work at all, you know that I also now do portrait and boudoir work, and I do a very stylized portrait and boudoir work. People use the term painterly for this kind of style that I do. When I first got into that, when it first spoke to me and I was like, that's going to be my path or my other part of the path, I didn't know if that was going to be commercially viable. Would people actually pay for it? I already had the headshot side of the business going, so if the portrait and boudoir side didn't take off, that was okay. I still had income. I could do the portrait work that I liked on the side. Luckily, people do like the style of portrait and boudoir work that I do. My work speaks to a specific group of people that want the kind of art that I create. However, I also do creative projects. So if I was just doing big over-the-top creative and didn't make a commercially viable product, I most likely wouldn't get the same bookings. For example, the Vanitas project that I did. It's a beautiful, creative portrait series, but most likely that style wasn't going to speak to the masses. I probably wouldn't have been able to build a successful portrait business off of that. That does mean I get to play with the best of both worlds. I can do the things that my clients like and that they're going to pay for, and that also affords me time to do my more creative art projects. And my clients like to see that work. They like to see the creative work, even if they're not going to book that for themselves. Social media is a lie. It is so easy for us as creatives, us as artists, to scroll through our Instagram, our Facebook, see what other photographers are doing. And sometimes we see that they're creating work that's getting all sorts of numbers, lots of likes and lots of shares and lots of comments. And it's easy to look at that and compare yourself to it and go, oh, I must not be on the right path. There's a saying that comparison is the thief of joy, and it is so, so true. Things that you need to consider with that is A, who is that photographer's audience? Are they speaking to people who are booking them and paying them to be a photographer? Or is a majority of their audience other photographers? That's a big difference. For me, most of my social media is geared towards my clients. My clients are the people who pay me. I'm just now starting to create more content geared towards photographers because I'm doing this educational content for you. If you're not trying to sell to photographers, don't worry about talking to them. Talk to your clients. You also don't know where all of those numbers are coming from. Years ago, there was a photographer that I know who was pulling huge numbers on all of his social media. And all of us in this little network were going, that's fantastic. We all need to be hitting those kind of numbers. And we were comparing ourselves. What we found out later is that he was buying likes. So the brain space, the bandwidth that we wasted going, oh, what's he doing? How is he doing it? Could have been better spent on our marketing, on figuring out how to talk to our clients. So social media is an outright lie. Don't worry about social media. Don't worry about vanity metrics. Just worry about getting your message to your ideal clients, and business will start to come your way. This is a big one, and this is something that I really wish I'd figured out far, far sooner. I would have been far happier, and it was how to price myself. In the beginning, before I knew any better, I started with my headshot sessions, and you're going to laugh at this. I started at my headshot sessions for $150 for the session. It was up to 4 hours long and included 4 digital images. So let me break that down for you. So if I wanted to hit my annual goal of the salary that I wanted to be making, I would have had to have shot approximately 833 sessions a year, or 16 sessions a week. And if each one of those sessions went to the full 4 hours, that would have been 64 hours a week shooting, which didn't include editing time or marketing or anything else that I would need to do. I mean, that's crazy, right? Like, I didn't start my photography business so that I didn't have a life outside of my photography business. Once I actually learned how to price myself and price myself in a way where I could have a life, my clients got better, I got happier, and I actually started getting some time to myself and being able to hang out with my family and my friends and do the things that I like, rather than worrying about, I've got to get 64 people in front of my camera this week. So learn how to price yourself. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this very soon, so make sure that you're following along, and I will walk you through the entire process of how to set your prices where you can make a decent living and the mindset that goes behind it. I know a lot of people are nervous to ask for what they're worth or get in their heads about pricing. I will help you with this. Busy doesn't equal better. Let me explain. I see all the time in photographer stories and on their social media where they will be posting things like, oh, stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning editing all these photos, and I'll be back up at 7 a.m. tomorrow to keep going so I can get caught up. And what that message ends up doing, what you're actually telling potential clients, is that you are so busy that you're not going to be able to provide service to them. What they hear is, that person is too busy to help me. 2 things, and this does directly relate back to pricing. 1, if you're that busy, means raise your prices. You need to be charging more. There's a supply and demand curve. And then 2, if you're that busy backed up on edits, hire a retoucher. The other reason that being that busy where you can't get away from your computer so that you're able to get deliverables out to your client is that you're missing out on opportunity cost. All of the time that you're buried in being that busy, it means that you're missing marketing time. You're missing networking time. You're missing time just to think about your business and other things that you could be doing. Opportunity cost is very important to a business. You've got to make sure that there's space in your world, in your galaxy, to be able to take that time to work on your business. And the next point, it directly ties into the not being that busy, is work-life balance. None of us started our business to have to work 100, 150 hours a week. We need to go do things that we enjoy to do. We need to be able to take a step back and recharge our batteries. So put your work time in during the week, but make sure that you're leaving time for your family and for your friends and for your hobbies, and just to stop and breathe. It makes everything in your business better, and it makes you better at your art. It makes you better at your business when you've got the bandwidth to focus on it. Learning never stops. So I know people at the very beginning of their photography journey, and I know people who are 5, 6, 7 years in who worry about being good enough. The truth is you are good enough to be doing what you're doing right now. As you keep going, you're going to keep getting better. Getting better at this craft is no different than exercise and lifting weights. When you first start lifting weights, you're not going to be able to pick up a heavy load. But with training and keep doing reps, you keep getting stronger. The stronger you get, the more you can lift. It's no different than with your photography. The more you are photographing people, whether that's paid clients or whether that's creative projects, the more you're behind your lens, the better you get. The more you're playing with light, the better you get. The more you're working with your editing, the better you get. It takes time. I am better now than I was 5 years ago. In 5 years from now, I hope to be leaps and bounds better than where I am today. That's part of the journey. That's part of the fun. That is part of what makes what we do so special. It's not just go into a factory and plug the parts in and keep going. We get to keep growing, and that is exciting, and enjoy that journey. Surround yourself with the right people, people who are excited and driven, as opposed to those who are always complaining or making excuses. There's the old saying, birds of a feather flock together. It's true, right? So if you are surrounding yourself with people who are going, oh, people are never going to pay my prices, and nobody's going to book sessions, and I might as well give up, you're going to start to believe those things. If you surround yourself with people who are excited about improving their art, excited about growing their business through the ups and the downs of it, you're going to follow that path. And I can speak to this firsthand. Early on, I was in a group of people who were fairly good artists, but were negative, and it was making me negative. And I was spending time thinking about all of the negative conversations that we were having instead of focusing on growing my business. Once I shifted that and I was able to connect with a group of people who were driven, so much changed in my world, both professionally and artistically and personally. So who you surround yourself with while you're doing your business and just in life in general will change everything. Find the right mentors for you. It is so easy to end up in groups of photographers on various social media groups where you post a photo and you get a ton of critique. Unfortunately, in a lot of those groups, a lot of the critique is coming from people who either aren't running businesses or whose art may not be what you're aiming for. So you can't really take that feedback with 100% certainty. If you find mentors who are doing the kind of work that you like or running the kind of businesses that you like, they can help put you on the right path far more quickly. They are going to be able to give you critique with a genuine eye. They're going to be able to tell you about their business experiences and what's worked for them and what hasn't. Good, reliable mentors are invaluable. I've had a couple. There are still people that I look to when I run into issues or get into my own head that help me get to where I'm trying to go, help me achieve my goals. And bonus tip number 9, have fun. There are going to be ups and downs through this journey. That's just part of it. But when you start looking back, a year from now, 2 years from now, and see where you were and where you've grown, it is such an amazing feeling. And you get that sense of pride. You get that dopamine hit of, oh, look what I've done. And I know you can do it. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that thumbs up button and give the channel a follow. I've got a lot more education content coming. If you'd like to support the channel in different ways, you can follow us on Patreon. That'll be linked below there. That just helps the creation of this content, and you get to see some of the work that I can't share to other social media without censoring it. One last favor. If you've enjoyed this, please let a friend know about this channel. I'm trying to grow this channel quickly. I want to be able to help as many photographers as I can grow their businesses, improve in their art, and just have more fun with our art. And I'm sure somewhere by now other videos are popping up on this, so click on those as well.